Welcome to the Autistic Culture Podcast Advocacy Edition. In these episodes, we tackle the issues that matter most to autistic people.
Each week, we share our insights and the experiences of our guests on how to live authentically and thrive as autistics.
I'm Dr. Angela Kingdon, the linguistic autistic.
And I'm Matt Lowry, licensed psychological practitioner. Let's dive into strategies for living your best, most authentically autistic life. Episode 82, Moving is an Autistic Hell. Hey, Angela.
Hey, Matt.
We haven't seen each other for like a month now because of the topic of today's episode.
Yeah, so I figured we had to really explore why you have been running away from me. For the first time, you've never missed a single podcast episode recording. You have shown up on time, early, ready to go. I think you might have been like 5 minutes late once, like really. And then all of a sudden you're like, I died.
Yeah, because I tell you, for years, I lived in this place called Bardstown. It's a little town in Kentucky. And,
is it the place that doesn't have internet connectivity?
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't. We're already at 88% right now. So,
oh my god.
So the internet connectivity alone, I didn't know that fiber had a different connection. I thought it was through cable. So when I got my new box, I was like, well, when I signed up, I was like, oh, don't worry, I already have a cable modem. And they're like, no, you need a new modem. And I was like, really? So it comes with this like little thing that, with a whole, we're 95%. Oh my God. It's so cool. So anyway.
See, maybe moving isn't hell. Look at the benefits. Now our podcast will upload without you having to leave your computer on for a week.
And video quality and all that. But yeah, the new outlet and everything. And that's it's something else. But oh my God, moving is hell.
Yeah.
So I lived at my other house for 15 years. And for 10 of those, I was like, perhaps I should move closer to Louisville. Mm-hmm. And for the past 7, I've been like, I definitely need to move up because after the divorce and I want to spend more time with my son and my ex moved to Indiana, I was like, I need to move up there, but I didn't have resources. I didn't have a house. I couldn't afford a house because, I was very poor. And finally, I'm at a point in my life where I can, afford a better house after years and years and years and years and years of work. And, then it just became a process complexity issue. And finally got introduced to a realtor who, made some things. And the person I was with at the time said, hey, how about here's some houses. And I was like, oh, I'll go look at that house. And I went and looked at this house, and Emmett saw it. And as you could see behind me, it has that ginormous clock.
It's a big clock house.
And this is officially Big Clock House. And we have named it as though it's an Old English manor. And but the past month has been a logistical hell. And I've been packing. I've been living out of Tupperware boxes for the better part of like 5 years because I was, no sense in taking this out of the box because I'll be leaving at some point. So I've been very much packed, a lot of packed. But again, I bought this house, and the guy who bought my house said, "Don't worry, you'll have 90 days." And I was like, "Oh, good, 90 days. That's excellent." Turns out it was 90 days to close, which means that he agreed to buy the house if I bought another house within 90 days and could use the money from my house to buy that new house. And then I had 10 days to get out.
Not 90, 10.
Not 90, 10. And
because obviously you needed to close on your other house to get the money to buy the new house.
Exactly.
And once you closed, the 10-day window started.
Exactly. And that is a packing nightmare because I had to pack up my entire collection of everything. Had to pack up roughly 11,000 pounds of books. They broke a bookshelf in moving.
So I mean, if that's all they broke, that's a big victory.
They dropped several boxes, and I found Transformers out in the yard, and Yeah, and my desk chair is missing a wheel, so I need to order another wheel off of Amazon. So
Yeah.
so this is the thing about moving, the process complexity. Because autistic people, as you know, we process 42% more information at rest than neurotypical people. And because of that, our brains are always churning through the data and always looking at the variables. And our brains are much more variable focused. We're much more detail oriented than neurotypical people. Neurotypical people are big picture people. We are the minutia. And
Right.
when it comes to moving, it's all about the minutia. And again, I hired movers, neurotypicals. They say, we move this from here to here. We lift, put boxes and put them on a truck and drive
Yeah.
the truck and drop them off.
Yep.
But it's watching everything I've ever had go on there and like, oh God, no, don't be careful with that, be careful with that, be careful with that, be careful with that. But they can't do that because they have to do a job in a time allotted. And they don't see it as I do. So thankfully I took over an entire U-Haul truck full of stuff myself. And
Was
then
that
like
like your collectibles and things you cared about the most?
the things I cared about the most, yes. And I wanted to make absolutely sure they like, for instance, my Lego Eiffel Tower. I knew that would not survive a trip with the movers. So
Right.
I took it apart into 4 pieces, put it into totes so I wouldn't lose any pieces, and then brought them to the new house in my car. So I made like
Mm-hmm.
8 or 9 trips in my car. I drive an SUV because I need the cargo space and because I like to get my head and butt in a car at the same time, and that's difficult with many cars. So uh, I brought over, I filled up a garage doing a U-Haul, but it damn near killed me because I'm 45 and I do not have the strength of a young man anymore.
Mm.
I used a U-Haul when I moved from my apartment to my house 15 years ago. And in my brain, I'm like, oh, yes, I did it once. I can do that again. No, I almost died.
Different person, different time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
it's
way more
weird though.
stuff.
If you let other people touch your stuff, they fuck it up.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Oh my God. It's so horrifying because all this stuff, it's pieces of me. My collection, I posted a meme in Autistic Connections a while back about, I am not minimalist. I am wizard core because I want a life that is like a wizard has amassed this collection of treasures from his many travels. That's
Right.
the life that I want. And I have
Bilbo
the weirdest
Baggins.
shit imaginable. Yeah. And, with our other episode, if you see this on YouTube, you'll get to see my Mystery Science Theater 3000 robots because I'll have them for the next episode. But, or the previous episode. I don't know which
Nope.
order these go
No,
in.
it'll be the next episode.
Oh, good. Hey, if you're listening to
Yes.
this, tune in Tuesday to see some neat stuff.
Exactly. And fun update because of a change in Substack, we're now putting the videos on the Substack page as well. So they'll be in
Oh,
YouTube,
good.
but they'll also be on the Substack page. So you don't even have to travel far to look at happy robots.
That's excellent. But yeah,
I
oh.
had this, obviously my move, your move was
Oh,
complex.
yes. Yeah.
Like my move was
Your move
very,
was
very
insane.
complex. It's
'Cause
not even rational. So I had a storage unit, 2 rental houses, the main house we lived in, and my apartment in DC.
Yeah.
So it's basically 5 places that I needed to condense. I could send some of it to England, throw some out, put some in storage. And I had to figure out which was which, but they were all coming from different places. But wait until you hear. I don't think I ever told you the story,
Yeah.
and you will understand the miracle of it now that I tell you. So the very first day, the very first mover shows up. And I'm, for all of these different houses and shit, I'm using this same moving crew. And this guy shows up. Now I'm not remembering his name. Sasha, maybe. Let's go with Sasha.
It's a name.
And it's a name. I think it was his, something like that. Anyway, so this guy shows up and he has spreadsheets and attention to detail and extremely fastidious questions and labels And I've never seen a mover like this. Like ever, they will pack garbage. They will put your cat in a box. Like they don't fucking care. You told them to pack, they're going to put everything in boxes and put it on a fucking truck and they'll take it wherever. And this guy was so detailed. I didn't understand what was happening, but I'm like, okay. And so the crew was all Ukrainian. Did I tell you the story about this guy?
No.
Oh,
This
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 guy
is new.
changed my total life. Okay. So, first time, all I know is it went well and I've never had a move go well. Okay. Second time, they send the same guy back, and I immediately feel a sense of calm and peace because I see this guy who understands spreadsheets and organization and what matters and what doesn't, and priority and organization, and loading the truck in the order that I explain and understanding why I explain, because I'm like, these are going here and these are going there. But absolutely brilliant ability to like process complex sequences that I've never seen in a mover. Anyway, at the end, I ask him what his deal is, and he says, so I was just blown up about a year ago in Ukraine in the war. I was wearing these shoes when the truck I was in was bombed. They look like regular shoes. He's like, they gave us nothing. They gave us no training. And I am the last person you want fighting a war. I'm a lawyer. And I'm like, you're a what? And he's like, yeah, I was a tax lawyer for the last 7 years. I had a business, and then it was forced conscription.
Yeah.
And I had to go to war. And because I was so severely injured, I don't know why he was moving all my stuff. This guy like almost died a year ago. But yeah, because I was so severely injured, they let me leave. And America has an asylum program.
Oh,
so
good.
I'm here and I'm working as many hours as I can so I can go back to law school. He's like, I don't have to do all 3 years. I only have to do 2 and restart a law firm here in the US. And I was like, oh, wow. And I'm like, so you've lost
Holy
your whole
shit.
life and now you're a mover? And he's like, yeah, it's actually the second time it happened. My first job, I used to live in Crimea. My first job is I was a border guard in Crimea, and a Russian soldier showed up one day, put a gun to my head and said, this is my job now. Leave or we'll kill you. So he's like, I was the head of the border guard service in Crimea in 2014 when Russia invaded. I lost everything. I had to move to Kyiv, where I'd never lived, go to law school. And he's like, I rebuilt my life up, built this law firm, had employees. I think he said 20 employees. And then overnight on February 25th, Russia bombs Kyiv. And I lose my whole business for a second time. And now I'm rebuilding my life in America. So this guy should not have been a mover. He was so smart and subtle and detailed, and you just never get that. And I had 5 separate moving events, and he kept them all straight and managed the whole thing. And it was like, so, I mean, there were a million things that broke and that I forgot, and I threw out like the diamond necklace my grandmother gave me, like ridiculous, like so many things I can't even tell you. But he was like my one little bright spot because he was like way too smart to be a mover. Anyone that's willing to help you move is not going to care about your stuff. So they're just like flinging it around and throwing it.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to watch.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's not just stuff, it's pieces of us. And
right.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he had the organization. I'm glad that he had the time to understand all that, because again, it is a logistical nightmare to deal with all of this, and it's so overwhelming. And again, the older that you get and the more the stuff you get, it's hard to there was once upon a time when I left my parents' house to an apartment. I could pack everything up into a small U-Haul because I lived in one bedroom and
Right.
could have probably done it in like 2 or 3 carloads.
Yeah,
But
I did that when I
no,
was 18.
yeah, it's just one of those things. The process complexity is mind numbing. There's so many variables and it's so overwhelming. And I spent the entire time in shutdown and meltdown and just
And there's
really
almost no way to not like lash out on someone.
right.
Someone you love, a mover, somebody at Walmart, like
Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's such heightened intensity. The emotions are, I mean, and that's the thing about the chaos, because the chaos is just, I haven't had a shutdown or a meltdown since I was a kid. Well, I mean, aside from, when I got divorced, boy, that
I
was
was like,
a burnout. Yeah.
that might be
I,
a stretch.
yeah. Well, to this degree,
Mhm.
to this degree, this is the most traumatizing thing that has happened since the divorce. And again, we are not a transition people. We are a. I like to build my structure. I like to build my life. We will build, and that's the thing about all this. Even with the podcast stuff, we were waiting on our sound engineer to come on today to make sure that our sound for this episode is good, because I'm no longer in the same office that I was in, so I don't know how the sound from this is going to be. It's sort of echoey up here because the room is much bigger than the one I was recording in before, and
Right.
pardon me.
And I mean, there's like, that's such a little thing, the sound on your podcast.
Yeah.
Magnify that times 1,000. Like, so many things change. Like, one of the decisions I made when I moved, we had 2 king size mattresses, one in
Yeah.
our bedroom, one in the guest bedroom. And we used ours every night for, I don't know, whatever, 10 years. The guest bedroom got used, 20 times a year. So I was like, oh, we can only take one mattress. Let's take the guest bedroom mattress. It seemed like such a good idea. Let me tell you,
In
I
theory.
love my bed. I could not wait to go home to my bed every night. I found my bed to be comfortable.
Yeah.
It turns out I fucking hate the guest bedroom mattress. I can now not sleep, and I can't get that mattress back. The mattress that you can't donate a mattress. People won't take them.
No.
I threw out the mattress I now want every single fucking day. I
Oh
could go
God.
buy a new mattress, but it will just be another fucking new mattress. I
Yeah,
cannot have back that thing.
it won't be that specific thing that gives you the comfort that you need.
It's just unavailable.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
And that, like, it sounds stupid.
That's
I have
like a
grief
death.
over a mattress. Thank you, Matt.
Yes.
I feel validated.
Yes. And that's the thing, because I mean, granted, there's a lot of stuff that, we don't have opinions on, but when we do have opinions, we have fucking strong opinions. And when we find something that just clicks with us, we need it. You need your mattress.
Right. And it's not there. And I literally looked the movers in the face and I was like, we should take that one. It's newer.
Yeah.
And
Going logic based on all the other variables.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, I have no regrets about our move. I knew it would be hell, and it was the worst summer of my life. It was for sure hell.
Yeah.
But I was kind of surprised you went through with it. I was like, there's no way he's going to leave that house. You have so many things in place, so many shelves, so many, like, I don't know, fucking pegboards, like everything's so organized. How do you start over? That stuff you were there for 15 years.
Yeah. For 15 years, I built those systems, and I personally took
your fucking remote controls. The TV with the remotes and the gaming, and it was a thing of beauty. The new house doesn't come with that. Okay, I'm not making this easier.
No, but that's the thing. Those are the details. Putting together I got I've been working on building new systems. Like yesterday, Amazon dropped off an 8-port HDMI switch.
Okay.
So The new plan is to the so with the old video game systems, I had three-way splitters for my NES Classic, my Super NES Classic, my Genesis Classic, and then another three-way splitter for my Blu-ray player and the Xbox and an open slot. And then in the basement, I had my Wii, my Wii U, and my Xbox. But I'm going to try to put them all together and unify them with this 8-way splitter. And I'm getting a new surge protector today because I have no idea where the surge protector is. I live in chaos now.
It's in one of those boxes. I mean, if you go through 150 boxes, I'm sure you'll find it.
That's the thing. It's the systems
but how long
I built
can
up.
You live without the systems?
Right. That's like, the thing. The systems I put in place took me 15 years to tailor to my needs, to get to where I liked them, to get to where I was comfortable, to meet everything. And now the pieces are here someplace, but it's like somebody shook up my life like a snow globe. And now everything is just all over the place.
And even those systems don't necessarily work in this house.
Exactly.
Well, because were you telling me about the mugs thing?
Yeah. Okay. So in my old house, I think you took a picture, and they're probably on Substack.
Yeah.
But I had. Actually, I just happened to have one of these because I found one of these in the yard that somehow fell out of a box. I had 100 odd of these command hooks, and with 100 odd mugs all around my kitchen in a grid, to where they were in a very, very nice order. But I don't have space for all the hooks here, so I'm going to have to find a riser system to put on top of my cabinets to still display them. But I'm going to have to develop a brand new system for it. And developing brand new systems takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of brain power, and it is fucking exhausting. And this is the thing.
Satisfying once it works, though.
It is. I love a good system. I love having everything in place. But this is the thing about being an adult versus being a kid when you're autistic. When you're a kid, you don't have control over any variables. You do what your parents tell you to do. You do what your teachers tell you to do. You do what other authorities tell you to do. But when you're an adult, you have your own space and you can do your own thing and make it as you wish. But there are so many systems I have. I don't know where my coffee maker is. I need my fucking coffee. When I went to Disney, the best fucking coffee in the world is Joffrey's.
Oh, who knew?
Yeah. I will go on record, and if Joffrey's sponsors us,
they would like
be
to
great.
Sponsor us. Yes.
Yeah, but I've got a whole bunch of Joffrey's coffee, and I don't have any way to make any of it because it would be very comforting right now. So I may just run out and buy a new coffee maker so that I can have some fucking coffee. But it's the little stuff that you take for granted. And I had the wherewithal to make a survival backpack. So I threw my Nintendo Switch. I threw my analog Pro. It's essentially a third-party Game Boy in there. And I threw the HDMI cable and the power cables for my PC and my TV in there. And of course, all of my podcasting stuff is in my computer bag. So it was all ready to go because I made sure that if nothing else, those things would fit. So I can sit here in my chair and do podcasting from my I got this particular table to put my I don't know if you pronounce it Dejeric or Dejaric, the hollow chest set from Star Wars. I got this table to put that on. But Emmett decided he liked it better and put it in his room, and I brought it back out today to do the podcast. So because I need something to put this on, but it's so many systems, it's so many variables, and so much chaos. And I'm going to have to spend so much time over the next few months putting everything where it needs to be, working out the details of the new systems, figuring out. For instance, when I got here, it was freezing. You know why? Because the former owners still had control of my fucking thermostat because it's one of those Wi-Fi things.
It was on their app?
It was on. I had to figure out how to, number one, disconnect it from their app, Number 2, figure out how to manually change it. And then number 3, figure out how to fix it on my app. So now I have it on the app, and it's a decent temperature. Last night, so they also have a doorbell that is still linked to their fucking app.
Is it like a Ring doorbell?
Yes.
Wait, so that means they can see videos of you every time you come in and out of your own home.
And it fucking kills me. So last night, I couldn't take it off the wall because it's wired. So I was like, you know what? I can figure out a way to take things off with a fucking hammer.
No, you did not.
I did. So I beat it off with a hammer, and I was able to get the QR code off of the back of this thing and finally link it to my own account instead of to their account. And I was able to put it back on. So now I have access to my own doorbell and my own thermostat, which are issues I did not think that I was going to have to confront.
I mean, one question though. Did you think about just emailing them and asking them?
Okay, so these people, they still haven't changed their mail over.
They just don't have the wherewithal.
Yeah, they are not. Okay. Yeah. And again, one of the deals was, they were going to take their washer and dryer, and that's fine. I've got a washer and dryer, and their dishwasher wasn't working, so we put it in there. And hey, can you fix the dishwasher? And they said, oh, we're taking it. You didn't say you were taking it. You said it was going to be a dishwasher there. And they're like, well, now it's not. I'm like, no, that's part of the contract. You can't do that. Give me a dishwasher. You can either
leave it or give me money for a dishwasher.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Exactly.
What happened there? I was actually on the phone with you once when the real estate agent called and you had that conversation. Did you end up with did they leave it?
No. They bought a new dishwasher but didn't hook it up. And
fuck off.
Yeah. So yesterday, and apparently it's a special, because I hooked up my own dishwasher at my own old house. But apparently things have changed over the past God knows how many years. So there was a plumber came by yesterday while my son was here. And they needed to fix a toilet. And they're like, that's okay. It just makes that sound all the time. And it's the master bedroom toilet that flushes on its own every 5 minutes forever. So I was like, no, that's not acceptable. So they're like, oh, that's okay. You can live with it. And I'm like, no, I can't. You need to fix this. So they didn't fix it, but they the plumber was contracted by them, so they had to pay for it. So
that's good, at least.
The master bathroom does not flush every 5 minutes from now on. The dishwasher is hooked up. I was able to wash a load of dishes yesterday. I've been doing my laundry and wash my sheets and everything from the travels, and I've got to go out and get a new shower head. Because the shower I have is beautiful. It's got 3 different shower heads in different locations. One on the top for rain, one like normal, and one handheld thing. And I need that handheld thing because in my old house, had I known, I would have taken it with me. The one in my old house had great sprayer power because, I mean, okay, so brushing your teeth is one thing, right? I mean, it's you put goo on a stick, and that is the ultimate that humanity has come up with for teeth brushing for the past God only knows how long. Right. Goo on a stick. I had a high-powered pressure washer in my shower that I could turn on high power and just blast my teeth every morning to make me feel remarkably clean. I pressure wash my teeth. I
do
love
that
it
too.
Oh, do you?
I never told anyone this. Yes.
Hot damn. Yeah, this is the way.
Well, except my house cleaners, because they know that I have like all my tooth gear in the shower, because I don't want it everywhere. Like,
exactly.
I need to get in there.
Yeah. It's the only way that my mouth feels clean. Because, I mean, goo on a stick is one thing, but pressure washing, I feel like I'm actually, my teeth are squeaky clean afterwards. I don't
Right.
have any of that gunk in my mouth.
I hate
It
that
gets rid
gunk.
of
It's
all
like
of
a
it.
slime.
It is. And the toothbrush only does so much, and it leaves the taste afterwards,
And there's
and
that
everything tastes.
taste. Yes,
Yes,
that taste is terrible. And then
I
you
don't
can't
like.
have anything to eat or drink.
Exactly.
And
You can't drink coffee after brushing your teeth because it tastes like toothpaste.
right.
And, it's the pressure washing is exactly what I need. And this shower head just does not have that. So I really, really wish that I had brought the shower head from my old place. I wish, God, it sucks that
So you
they're
don't need
like
to
the bed.
replace the other two heads,
No, the
just
other two heads
the.
are great. It's just
So I
the
have
pressure
not
washer.
purchased this, but there is a viral shower head for that one on TikTok.
Yeah.
If you Google viral TikTok shower head, they have it on Amazon. I ended up buying it for Jesse at college
Yeah.
because they had whatever came with the dorm was like some shitty shower head. And he's like, I want the viral TikTok one. And Jesse has a little bit of a germ thing.
As is the
And
way.
there's like a special filter in this virus. So it's super high pressure.
Oh,
And
God,
then there's
yes.
like, it's extra special clean. See, viral TikTok shower head. And I'll show you what Jesse insisted on. But he never just wants a thing. He wants a very specific
The
thing with like
famous
a
shower
brand.
head?
It's the famous TikTok
Where you
shower
can
head.
manually adjust the water pressure any time of the day?
Ooh, I don't know. It's the one you'll see like layers. There's like beads. There's like filters and beads.
The Jornst handheld filter?
Have you guys seen what this shower
Or feel
Might
so?
be.
It's a game changer. Experience.
See,
I
it's
am
a
so
game
glad I
changer.
upgraded my shower head.
Matt's now searching for the viral. I will make sure that you. We'll put the link if anybody else needs a autistic recommended shower head.
Yeah,
My
because
child
I
always
need
knows all the best brands,
high pressure flow. Oh, God, yes. Okay,
right?
does it look like this?
That is the one. That is the one.
Okay.
It's like a layer cake.
Fucking
So,
A. Oh, yeah, because
yes,
all the filters in there.
right. And
Okay,
Jesse has a
great.
theory about the filters.
Apply
So,
$7 coupon. It'll arrive tomorrow. Fucking A, man. I can finally have clean teeth again.
right.
Oh, God. And that's
Look, you
the
already
thing.
ordered it before the episode
Proceed
was
to check
over.
out.
Nicely
Yeah.
done.
I will have this tomorrow, and I will be able to hook it up, and I will feel clean.
If you're anything like me, online quizzes might be your guilty pleasure. That's why I am so excited to announce the Autistic Culture Quiz. It's fast, it's fun, and it's pretty to look at. But best of all, it might just change how you see yourself. Take it right now at bit.ly/autistic culture quiz. If you've ever felt like you just get autistic culture, but you don't know how to explain it, this quiz will help you explain autism from a non-medical perspective. Each question is based on one of the 10 pillars of autistic culture. Take the quiz now and improve your cultural competency. It's totally free. Just go to bit.ly/autistic culture quiz. And autistic culture quiz is all one word, all lowercase. This is the way.
Yes. So the germaphobe thing. I have been a lifelong germaphobe. And again, with people moving my stuff, I know that that's a necessary evil, but to see them spill my stuff and put it back in the boxes, it fucking kills me.
Right.
It hurts. It hurts. All of my stuff. I love collecting Transformers, but they switched to a package that has an open package where kids can touch it and get boogers all over the toys. So I have to wash them before anything. So there's a lot of unopened Transformers because I didn't have the time to wash them, and I have a bathroom in the basement. But yeah, it throws me off to watch them drop stuff and then just put it back in there as though it never happened. And then all the accessories that they might lose, and it just There's so much that just throws me off. But thank you for that shower head. Oh God.
Yes.
Oh
It's a big
God.
one. It's a big one.
It is. And that's a system that needs to be put back in place to make me feel comfortable, to make me feel like how I need to get my teeth.
Like it's your house so that
Yes,
you can be
exactly.
at home, because
At home, yes.
regulation, emotional regulation is, I think, our biggest job as autistic people.
Oh God, yes. It's a full-time fucking job.
It's
man.
a full-time job. It's our number one job. There are going to be times you're dysregulated. You're going to have to go to court. You're going to have to go to the DMV. A cop is going to pull you over. Like, you are going to be dysregulated some of the time.
Yeah.
And so every single second you can possibly control being emotionally regulated, that's your job to put first in order. Like, don't choose not to be, which is funny because a move, right? You're choosing a lot of that. And so you have to be able to regulate at home. Like, if you walk in your house and you're immediately looking at boxes or whatever the things are that make you uncomfortable, maybe you have one room you can regulate in. Like, okay, go in that room if that's the case, because not everybody has the same luxury. But like, I try and make, so one of the things that I do is in every single room, there are things I always need. So I have really dry eyes. I always need eye drops. People do not understand why I buy bottles of eye drops in packs of like 520, but like, I need one in every single room. I need a charger in every single room.
Yes.
I don't need to run a charger. They're not that expensive. I do not need to go run for chargers. That stresses me out.
Yes.
I need to have a charger there. So I have a list of things that have to be in place and have a place in that room. I have some sort of body temperature regulation problem. So in every single room, I need a blanket. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's just going to have to be there. And so whenever I'm in a room, like all my little pack of goodies that we talked about on sunglasses are autistic with Becca, Lori Hector, like my sunglasses, my earphones, like all of my things, I've got like, it's not, what's the pulling one? Trichomania. I don't have that one, but I have like a huge nail peeling issue.
Yes. Oh,
it's really bad. So in every single room, I have a collection of nail files. Like, you will not walk into a room in my house without finding nail files. So if you can't set that up, and it takes a while to get all that and have a place to put it, you can't just drop it on the floor.
Right.
You can't just go in the middle of the couch. It's got to go somewhere. So that means you need a table. And maybe a table you brought fits, but maybe you need to buy a table. So,
and there's only so many outlets that a house has that are accessible, because especially in a room this big, there's a few around the room. But, you know, it's like with the outlets, right? I need a charger of every fucking type, of USB-C, a USB-A,
of course,
all of these different things, and I have a charger that regulates voltage and amperage, so that it never overcharges things and it never has a spike, and it responds to the device that it's charged to. But again, all of my fucking cords are in some box somewhere, because the last stuff that I packed is somewhere in here. And again, given 10 days, I labeled some of them, but I wasn't able to label all of them because so anyway, you
just ran out of time to label.
I just ran out of time, and it's just it was either pack it or lose it. And I ended up losing a lot of stuff because there was, the stuff that I lost. Okay, so this is another thing. As autistic people, we have a tendency to cling to the stuff that we love to the point where it can become hoarding.
You had a little revelation.
For the past several years, I decided, yes, I love my Lego boxes, even after I build the sets and put the sets away and all this kind of stuff. So I had roughly, I don't know, 500 Lego boxes and all the Transformer boxes and a bunch of Star Wars boxes that I carefully folded and stacked and put them someplace. I could not take them all because I did not have enough room, so they were trashed. All of this stuff, and I was like,
the thing is, you do have room at the new house for them, but what is the purpose? Are we going to
That's the thing.
disassemble a Lego creation, put it in the box and give it as a gift?
Right.
What are we doing with the boxes?
Because that's the thing with it. And I realized that that's a path that my son was going down, because it's something that I never explicitly told him. And I don't know if it's genetic. It's probably genetic because, again, my parents and their parents and everything. But he didn't want to throw away any of his toy boxes, so that his toys came in. So we reached an agreement that I would take a box cutter and cut off the art for, like, his Paw Patrol tower. It had a lot of drawn art on there, and I would cut off the front of the box. We would put a command strip on the back and hang it up as a Paw Patrol artwork on his wall.
Oh, okay.
So
I love that idea. That's really good.
Instead of keeping a box, we kept the art, because we can appreciate art, and his room needed some art, so there was art. But I did not do that for myself, and I ended up with a whole bunch of boxes. And this was a time to purge all of this. So I got the boxes that I really, for instance, like some of the boxes that were down there were Funko Pop boxes. And I kept. I again kept the boxes, but some of them in particular are the cereal monster mascots, like Boo Berry, Frankenberry, Count Chocula. Turns out those pops with their boxes are worth around $900 each.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I absolutely had to keep those boxes. So so I'm going to get some protectors and that kind of stuff for them. But it's one of those things that I had
changed. This was the first part of my move, which was almost 2 years ago when we decided to move to England.
Yeah.
The first thing I had to do was rewrite some rules. And you may not like this, but it was the only way my brain could do it. I think I probably talked about this on an episode. Okay. So I had a rule about books, which is books shall never be given away. Books shall never be thrown out. Books shall always stay together, and books shall always be organized in their genre and then alphabetized.
This is the way, but I have a feeling that rule has changed.
Well, so then, and this is what the rule changed to, and it's really weird, but it's the same thing that happened with my music collection, because I had the same rule about music. I had a huge music collection, and when I couldn't have all of it, I was like, I will throw out all my music or donate all my music, and I will buy a Spotify subscription. And basically, that was my decision on books. I was like, I will not have any books, which is a huge thing for me. I've had like an obsession with books since I was very little. I'm still obsessed with books. But the new rule I had to come up with was I only take things that I have a space for.
Yeah.
And there was not a space for all my books. And I really didn't want some of my books.
Yeah.
Like which some? I don't just my philosophy books, which some? Like I couldn't pick.
How do you choose the children? Yes.
Right. So I took like all of my book, I donated them to a brand new library that was in our town. I bought a bunch on Kindle. Not everything I have is available. A lot of things were collector's things that there's no way to ever get again. And I was like, haven't reread them, don't have a place for them, not going to pay to store them.
Yeah.
That was like the rule I came up with. And now, like, I'm in school. I need books for a class. It's great. I will keep them until the class is over. When the class is over, I will sell them. Yeah. I found this really cool app called Zift. One of my friends who is also moving.
ZIFT?
ZIPFT, godforsaken.
Wow, they are, they are getting really creative with those.
So what you do, I really had fun with this, is ZIFPT maybe? So Ziffit, ZIF, these people, you basically scan your books and then they give you a price for it.
Yeah.
And it was very weird what the prices were. This is it. Zip it. I'll put it in the show notes.
Interesting.
And basically they made it so easy. They sent you boxes. They sent you labels. You didn't have to pay for any of the shipping. And then they just put a check or whatever, did a transfer to my PayPal account. And so I got rid of so many books. And even the books they didn't give me money for, I just sent them. Like it would say $0. And I was just like, fine, sending it anyway.
At least they're going someplace.
Right. It's hard to donate things. Not emotionally hard, although that too. But like it's hard to find places that will take your stuff.
And that's the thing, because, it's something you've treasured for a very long time, and other people might not see it that way, but you don't want to see them destroyed. You want to see it go to some place that, they'll be used again.
Yeah. So Paul's best friend has an incredible, like, Egyptology, but Indiana Jones related Egyptology museum in his house.
Nice.
And just so many incredible collections that are related to this. And he found a guy at like a comic book store in Bristol that has that shared special interest. And he agreed to take the stuff on because he's trying to like not have all his stuff there, that if his family doesn't share the special interest. And he's like, I'm done with this now. I need to move it on to the next home. Yeah. And so they set up his museum in this comic book shop, and it's on consignment or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just like think that it's gonna go. You could tell it's in autistic hands. Like it's gonna go to somebody who loves it and gets how beautiful the collection is.
Well, that's the thing. Like when we talked about Questlove and how he has a massive, massive collection, they'll be donated to the Smithsonian when he dies, because that's how we do things. We are archivists. We are museum makers. We are librarians. We need that. We need to be able to pass it on because it can't die with us.
Right. Right. And so that's like, I had to rewrite rules for the new house. Like what are my rules? And like one of the rules, I know I've talked to a lot of other neurodivergent couples that have this rule, but like my husband and I have a shared bedroom, but also I have my own bedroom. Like,
so you can have your own space. Yeah.
I need to have my own space. It's not negotiable. So there was no option where I didn't have a room that could be 100% mine. And that was the first room I set up because I knew this whole experience is going to be so emotionally destabilizing.
Yes.
I need a place where I can shut the door and it's like the tiniest room in the house, but it's perfect. Every single thing in it is perfect. I set up those systems first. I did nothing else. Like it probably seemed rude or selfish. Other people are setting up the kitchen or whatever.
No, you need your regulation space.
Right. I'm like, this will serve everything. And if you don't have that regulation, everything else goes slower anyway.
Exactly.
Everything.
Exactly.
And I was trying to explain, like, I will drop things. I will end up breaking my ankle. Things happen when I'm dysregulated that will make everything else harder for fucking months.
Well, so this is the thing about the TISM, right? Because again, the neurotypicals only know us by our deficits, but we only have the deficits when we're dysregulated. We only have the deficits when we are, out of our element, when we are desperately trying to accommodate everyone else and everything else. We have to do that for us first. And that, in order to be a functional human being, you need to have that regulation.
Right. That's the thing. I think, especially like I want to speak to women and people who are caregivers, is I think it's especially hard for us to say, I am doing this. No matter what I say, people may think it's selfish or jump to conclusions. And by people, I mean, like, I don't know, his family was here when we're moving. And they're like, why isn't Angela unpacking? People are going to have opinions. I don't know who his family is, actually incredibly supportive, but whatever. People are going to have opinions. And I know myself now, and I like claim my autistic identity enough now that I know what I need, and that is to put emotional regulation first. And that means I shipped over my coffee maker. Like, I didn't want to get, I've tried UK coffee makers. I don't care how similar they are. I wanted my fucking coffee maker.
Yeah,
And I
it's the
wanted my
thing.
coffee. And I set up my coffee maker and I set up my room. And like, from there, I can do more and more. But if I try and look good or make everyone happy, they end up not happy anyway, weirdly. I think because I probably lash out at them, or I don't know, something happens where I'm manipulative or I become a bad person anyway. So it's not like this makes it better. People aren't like, oh, she's so awesome, she's hiding in her room.
Yeah.
But at least I'm not miserable.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You in order to be successful, you have to set up that base camp to get your needs met. If you were out in the wilderness, you would have to find a place with food and water before anything else, because you have to cover the necessities before you move on to bigger things. You're not going to build a house in the woods if you don't have food and water nearby.
Right.
Yeah, that would be insane. Yeah, that's
so
just not how that
what's
works.
For you at what's that been like for you at Big Clock House? Like, where are you starting? How are you attacking it? Do you have an attack plan?
So first thing was to set up the TV and the PC, and get the internet back.
Yeah,
because
internet. I was very proud that you did that.
Yeah,
I was internet, like, I hope it's going to take a long time to get internet. You're like, I'll have it tomorrow.
Yeah, I set up the internet before I set up the gas, the electric, or any other utility.
I love you.
Yeah,
you're my person.
This is the way. Yeah, and again, there's two different high-speed internet outlets here, one of which was older than the other, and I kept trying to plug it into the old one. And that they wanted me to take a picture with tech support, and I was like, so I finally called tech support, and my son was here at the time, and the guy for AT&T tech support was great, and he was like, no, that's an old outlet, you need to find a new outlet. And so there's a different outlet? What the fuck is this? So anyway, well, we spent like an hour, and he spent walking me through it and setting it up and everything. And then he asked me about, what I do. I was like, oh yeah, autism. And he was like, oh, my brother's autistic. And I was like, no shit. Aww. So he's, anyway, great guy. Left him great feedback for the customer service. And he walked me all through this stuff and told him about Trailhouse, and he was very happy. But yeah, the internet was the very, very, even before I figured out the thermostat, I got the internet up and running. Because so good. Again, you got to find I needed my data source. You have your food, your water, and your data. I needed my data. So I can now watch movies and TV shows and everything because everything goes through the internet. So there's that. I got my bed in a place, but again, I'm going to have to get a new bed because the bedroom is big enough for it. And my mattress, I got my mattress in 2005. So it's about time for a new one. It's lumpy as hell, but it works. But I've got to get the coffee. I had to get the dishwasher up and running. I need to get the shower head.
Is the kitchen your next thing? Kitchen and bathroom?
At least getting the mugs out. I've got to get that new. The bathroom is interesting in that it has a walk-in closet in the bathroom, so you can just get dressed without having to leave the warmth of the bathroom after the shower.
It's great. So, I like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to put all my clothes in there. I've got to wash all my clothes and put them in there. And then I've got the couch set up in the middle of the room. So there's a big pile of stuff behind the couch. So I don't have to have it in my visual field. So good. I can de-stress without that clutter in my visual field. But I've got to work on, right now, everything is, all the best stuff is in the garage. All the other stuff is in the basement. And because I freak out about people having access to the garage, especially since what if they left behind a garage door opener and somebody has a garage door opener, they can open my garage. I turned off the circuit breaker to the garage door. So it is now a wall.
Okay.
Yeah. Got it. You can't even manually open the garage door unless you pull a cord from inside. No one can get inside the fucking garage right now. So getting stuff out of the living room, getting the stuff from the garage into the living room, and then getting the new stuff from the living room into the office and to every place else. That's going to be the next step because I really, really want to set up the office. The original plan was for my son has a bedroom and my son has a clock room
I mean,
because
obviously.
he's very much, if you're a paid member and you get to come to our Q&As, you'll see my son. He's very much a timekeeper. He's fascinated by
He
clocks.
will keep time on our
Yeah,
Q&A calls
we have a
for us.
collection of maybe 40 clocks, and that much ticking drives me insane. But he finds it very regulating, and he likes to just sit. We put up some clocks yesterday. We still haven't found all the clocks because they're in the clocks boxes. And he just sat in his clock room. He shut his door, and he just sat there peacefully looking at all of his clocks because that's very regulating for him.
That's
And
great.
again, the original plan was for downstairs to have a big main room for me, a Lego room, my office, and have a craft room for my girlfriend. But she does not want to live here, so it's being used as storage. Because it was going to be her crafting room, and thought that was going to be really, really cool to put up the Cricut and the printers and the 3D printer and all kinds of stuff in there. But no, so it's going to be used as a storage room for all the endless number of boxes until I can thin out the boxes. And I bought maybe 20 or 30 big totes to put stuff in. And then once I, start unloading the totes and start stacking the totes, I'll just have a bunch of empty totes ready for whenever they need to be toted somewhere.
Let's talk about the administrivia of it all. A lot of things are a little better for us because I feel like they're online, like turning off my, I don't know if it was my gas or my electric, but one of them was like super easy. I just literally clicked a button and everything was done, and it was done right.
Yeah.
But like, you have to bring back cable boxes. Like, fuck those motherfuckers.
Seriously.
Like, really? You're using a newer version now than what I have anyway. Why do you need it back?
Exactly. You have to turn on systems. You have to turn off systems. You have to find new ways to pay bills. And for instance, like with my old mortgage, it went through my bank, and I have an app for my bank, and I just paid my mortgage from my bank. But I went with a local mortgage company for this, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, you can use our online portal." I was like, "All right," I bookmarked the online portal, and then 3 days later, they sold it to a firm in Texas.
No.
And I asked the realtor guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's totally normal." I was like, why did I go with these people if they're going to turn around and flip my mortgage? So now I got to figure out how to pay my mortgage to these people in Texas because they're like, "Oh yeah, you can mail in the coupon booklets." It's like, no, I want something online where I can point and click and do this. I've got my internet set up with auto debit, so I have a $10 discount every month, and I don't have to worry about that. But I need to figure out how to pay the bills. I need to figure out the new systems for all of this stuff. And change all my bookmarks. It's the minutia.
How do you deal with the phone calls? I really struggle with the phone calls.
So many fucking phone calls. Do you have a technique?
One of my techniques is as soon as the phone picks up, I just start screaming, "Agent, agent, agent, fuck you, agent, let me talk to a person." Fuck you.
Okay,
is that your technique? It doesn't work, but it is my approach.
When I get the "Why are you calling today?" I just go,
We're having trouble understanding.
And then,
Oh, that's a very friendly technique. I start swearing at them violently.
Yeah, because again, I don't know who created the logistical hell of these systems. I am sure some demon was sent to Earth for the specific purpose of fucking with people with these systems. Because, I mean, it's just... and again, like, oh, God. Like with the fucking post office. Like, "Why are you calling today?" "Well, the guy who owned my house before me hasn't changed his mail over yet." That is not a question. Like, it is a question. Give me an answer. I got to stop getting his mail. Tell the guy to forward his mail.
Agent, talk to someone, person, agent, representative, someone, help.
Yeah.
And like,
It's
yeah,
just screaming into the void, and there's so much of that. It's fucking impossible, man. I really, life does not need to be this difficult.
one of the things that, makes, for instance, doing the podcast possible is we have a window of time. We have a start time. We have a stop time. We're pretty respectful of other people's time. Like, we've gone over by a couple minutes here and there, but for the most part, we respect it. Phone calls do not seem to
No.
have a preset end time.
No. You can
And
be
I
on there for
don't
3 minutes or
understand.
38 minutes.
Right. But what if you have a call at the 30-minute mark? How does
Right.
I don't understand how neurotypical people make phone calls and don't have a problem with it, because do you just hang up in the middle of a sentence? Like, do you, like, you're on hold? I don't understand how to ever make a phone call because I don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I have something planned
Yeah.
for later today. So do I just have to have a day where I have no plans to make phone calls, which was my approach
That's the
during the
thing.
move?
That's the thing. That's the only time when I can make phone calls, when I know that I don't. For instance, like even with the internet, I had to go pick up my son and drop him off. While doing that, while talking to the guy on the internet, while he was arranging my account, because
Yeah, that's
I
not great.
no, it's just it's chaos. It's fucking horrifying.
And then there's like the recovery period that I feel
Yes.
like,
After being drained by the fucking phone call.
yeah, you really do need to know. Moving is going to include 100x times more administrative. Like, we all have administrative calls, like we all gotta whatever, call the doctor sometime, all those things. But
Yeah.
during the period of your move, you will have 100 times more those calls, and
Yeah.
each of them need an unpredictable number of minutes for the calls, because there's probably
Yeah.
going to be a callback process,
Yeah.
and recovery time, which I
Yeah.
find is usually as long as the call.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the thing. I mean, just dealing with all this, it sucks your energy out. It's very, very draining.
Yeah. For me, recovery is, I'm not saying this is the most sophisticated thing, but it's like some sort of game. I'm a big trivia person, but
Oh yeah.
any like games like crossword puzzles or Sudoku or Wordle or something, and it will look like, on a busy day, why are you wasting an hour playing bullshit games on your phone? But if I don't do that after a call, I am very likely to fuck something up in a bigger way, either a
Yeah.
relationship thing or my car or my knee or something.
Well, that's the thing. It's you got to heal. You got to refuel. You can't go out on an empty tank. And this is the biggest thing about about autistic self-regulation. It's more intensive than most. It's more intensive than most people realize. And I wish that more people understood how stressful it is to be autistic, to live an autistic life, to deal with this sort of nonsense, because it 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 just it's so dysregulating, it's so overwhelming, and especially if you don't have a person to co-regulate with,
Yeah.
it is fucking draining.
Yeah.
And that's the
And
biggest
not only
thing.
do you not have one, you also have to be a support to Emmett.
Yeah.
So, if you show up dysregulated with him, that's only going to make his life worse.
Exactly.
So,
He because again, he doesn't know why I'm dysregulated, and he can't explain the minutia of all this. All he knows is that either Daddy is happy to see him or Daddy is mad or something. So
right.
Daddy has to be happy and regulated at all times around him. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just when you're the only person in the world who can do that, it's a lot of responsibility, and it hurts. And
Yeah.
it's where having a partner to co-regulate with and to help through all this would really, really come in handy. And
Yeah,
it's
I
very
can say
disheartening.
that was the only thing that kept me sane through this, was my husband. I can't
Yeah.
imagine doing it without a person.
It's very, very. But if any podcast listener out there who is autistic and wants to live in a nice big house, hit me up.
And by the way, Matt's never moving again, so you won't have to support him through this.
No, this is my sarcophagus now. I will when I die, I'm just going to have them bury the entire house in peat moss or something. It's
very
just,
Last of Us vibes.
Yeah. I might pull a Little House on the Prairie and implode the house and just, yeah. But
you were very clear that this move was the right decision. Obviously, closer to Emmett, closer to Trail House. So many reasons for the move, but actually doing it was really hard. I know in the end you'll be glad you did it. It is the right decision, and it is a beautiful house.
A year from now, it'll be the ideal base of operations. I'll have my son half the time. More time with my son. It's easier to get to Trail House. I'll be able to spend more time at Trail House. It'll be there's less traffic. There's less driving. Everything that I need is like 5 minutes down the road. In the end, all of the variables will work out in the end, but the fucking transition process, man. I hate the transition.
But
the transition
is that what kept you going? Like knowing every step of the way this would be the right decision in the long run.
Yeah. It's the end game, and I'm doing it for my son. I'm doing it because that's the thing. For 7 years, I've had this in my brain of I have to move. I have to move. I have to move because I have to move for him. I have to be closer to him. This was always the goal ever since my ex left, to be closer to Louisville so that I can have my son more. And the original plan was to be there by the time he entered kindergarten, but I worked in community mental health. I didn't make enough money. The pandemic happened, all of that stuff. So now finally I'm in a place in my life where I could afford the $9,000 it took to hire movers to do all this. And I was able to find someone to buy my house without having people walk through it and touch my shit.
Yeah, I did that too. Very grateful.
I could not deal with people walking through my house, touching my stuff, breaking my stuff, stealing my stuff. I couldn't put my house on the market like that, so I sold it to a flipper who gave me far less than market value. But it meant that I went ahead and had the money to buy a new house to move all my shit into before he did everything. So it was the only logistical way that I could possibly make it work. And it was, again, it's a short-term hell for a long-term heaven.
Yes.
And this is the ultimate goal.
I do agree with that. It's definitely the right choice. So hard to get through. I think that's the thing I would say to anybody listening is like, you have to have a really clear why to get through this, because it's not going to make it easier, but it might make it slightly more possible.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I always say you need something to run to, not something to run from.
Yes, that's it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless you have the end goal, unless you know what you're looking for, you're always going to be lost. And I know that I wanted something in this area. I want something big for the money. But yeah, it's just I think, again, this is a very, very nice house. It needs some fixes. I need to get a radon system put into the basement before I spend a lot of time down there because I don't like the radon levels. But other than that, everything about the house is really, really nice once I get that fucking shower head in there with the intense pressure so I can pressure wash my teeth. I've been feeling grungy today, and I do not like it.
It's gonna be so good tomorrow.
Thank you for telling me. And this is the thing: we need to share the things that work for us, so that we can have these systems, the secret line of accessibility for other people. So
actually, that's a good way to wrap up today. Is what helped you in your move. You can share that in the chat, in the comments. Like, we want to hear your stories. What did you buy? What do you recommend for kitchen risers or shower heads?
Yes.
Put all your advice.
Because it's great. Share these tips, share these tricks. Even the shower head is a game changer for me, so I'm really glad to know about it. And I need the risers and whatever helps us hang the artwork. It turns out that my surround sound system from 1995 does not work with the surround sound system in here, so I'm going to have to get something new. So
all of that.
With all of these tips and tricks to make things easier. This was what makes this community. This is the way. So
yes. So with that, Matt has to go unpack some boxes, and we do want to hear from you, though. So subscribe, share, find us. Best to find us on our Substack page. It can be a little confusing, but it's worth the effort. AutisticCulturePodcast.com. Scroll to this episode. You'll see the show notes, the showerhead recommendation, and other things like that, and a place to comment right there. When you can comment anywhere, but when you comment on our Substack page, we actually see it, and you will hear from us, and with gratitude. So we want to hear from you and see you in Substack. Also, please let people know about this episode if they are about to move, thinking about moving, or recently moved and need a little catharsis moment with us. So thanks, everyone.
Have a good one. Thanks for listening to the Autistic Culture Podcast Advocacy Edition.
Be sure to tune in for our Autistic Culture episodes every Tuesday, where we celebrate autistic contributions to society, culture, and history.
For even more Autistic Culture, consider becoming a paid member for exclusive perks, like live Q&A calls with us, a virtual writing circle, and our new Self-Defined Living course by Becca Laurie Hector.
Fun fact, Matt, it actually costs us $8 for every minute that people see or hear on the podcast. But our member pricing is just $8 a month.
What a bargain!
What a bargain! Buy 1 minute and get 500 minutes for free. Seriously, if you can afford this, we really appreciate your contribution. It makes all this possible.
And of course, the best way everyone can support what we're doing is to rate, review, share, and subscribe on Substack or your favorite podcast app.
This is the way.